comfortable so that you can stay in this pose for, we're going to be here for some moments. We're going to be here for a little bit. And the point is, we want to open our heart. So we want to try to get it so that it's comfortable enough that we can be here and that we're opening our shoulders around that lower block. Your legs, your feet can be in Supta Baddha Konasana, so they can be your soles together. This then becomes also a hip opener. So if that's comfortable and that feels good, if you have tons of blocks, you can put blocks underneath your knees and rest your knees on blocks, but most of us don't have 4 blocks hanging around. You can also just bring your knees up and have your knees bent and your soles of your feet on your mat, or you can put the soles of your feet at the edge of your mat and have your knees together, kind of like a knock-kneed position. So, or you can just have your legs out long. The point is, we want to wrap our shoulders around that block that's right underneath our heart, and open your palms to the ceiling. And in this stance, in this pose, we're receiving. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to feel like you're receiving. And make your way into stillness. Notice your breath. Make any adjustment that you need to feel this pose completely. And you may find that you can lower the block underneath your neck and go to a lower setting. You can try that and see how it feels. If that's too much, then just bring it back up to the most high setting. And breathe and receive. You can move your hands out so that they're starting to move into more of a T position. See how that feels? And start your breath. See if you can start breathing through your belly, up into your lungs, out through your nose, and reverse it. This is that Ujjayi breathing, where there's a constriction at the back of your throat. And visualize your breath, the swirls of breath coming in, filling your belly, filling your lungs, out through your nose, and then reverse it. Wrap your shoulders. Four more rounds of breath right here. And slowly roll over onto your side to make your way up into a comfortable seated pose. You can be hero's pose. You can put your sitting on your knees, maybe with a block under your sacrum, whatever's most comfortable to you, or cross leg pose, it doesn't matter. But just come into that comfortable seated pose. I'm gonna sit in a hero's pose with a block underneath my sacrum, but do whatever works for you. And we're gonna slowly come into waking up our neck. We've done this before. I've done this a lot when I was away with friends. They both had some joint replacements and we were doing chair yoga together. We always open the practice with this neck opening. So tuck your chin to chest. Inhale and look up and back. Tuck your chin to chest on the exhale. Look up and back. Exhale, chin to chest. Sitting up tall, the crown of your head reaching up and back. Chin to chest. Up and back. Come to a neutral position. And now left ear to left shoulder. Sitting up tall. As you come up to center, right ear, right shoulder. It's the ear to shoulder, not the shoulder to ear. Right ear or left shoulder. Look up. Pause here for a second. Draw your shoulders up to your ears and roll them down your back. So your shoulder blades are heavy down your back. Your elbows are heavy, trying to draw down to your hips. Okay, right ear, right shoulder. Look up. Left ear, left shoulder. Look up, right ear, right shoulder. And look up, left ear, left shoulder. Look up, right ear, right shoulder. Great, now we're gonna put it all together. We're gonna go around the world. So tuck your chin, left ear, left shoulder. Look up and back, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale as you come around. And inhale as you roll back and exaggerate this movement, keeping your shoulders down your back. So you're really stretching your neck. You're not hunching up your shoulders. Just keep on rolling around with breath. In and out. It is exaggerated neck roll. And now go in the opposite direction. Sitting up tall when you come around. Exhale as you come down. Good. And come back to center. Hands on your thighs, sitting up tall. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Now roll your shoulder blades up to your ears and roll them down. Make these circular movements with your shoulders, scrunching up and rolling down. As they come down, it feels heavy. You're really sinking your shoulders down. And when you come up, you're really drawing them up. And go in the opposite direction, rolling out your shoulders. This may feel good after we did heart bench. Just exaggerating these rolling movements. Roll around and around. Great. Bring your arms out in a T and make little circles. Going one way. Keep continuing your Ujjayi breathing and sitting up tall. That crown of your head is drawing up to the ceiling. And now go the opposite direction with these little circles and start to make bigger circles. Start to really make as big circle as you can. I know you're sitting on the floor, so you might not be able to make super big circles, and go in the opposite direction. Great. Breathing in and out, using deep breaths. Great. Now bring your hands out in front of you like you're stopping somebody. Your fingers are up to the ceiling, and widen your fingers as wide as you can go. June, it's like you're trying to get your thumb and your pinky to an octave on the piano. Stretch it out. Now we're going to open and close all of our joints 30 times quickly as you can. And I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Excellent. Place your hands on the floor in front of you. Now place your fingers facing each other with the backs of your hands on the floor. I want you to bend your elbows and sink your chest down towards your fingers. Now come up and go into a round back cat position. Come forward, sink down like your chest is going to touch the floor, and come back into that round cat position. Maybe even tucking your chin. One more time, sink down. Your chest is heading towards the floor, and come back up and round your back and tuck your chin. Now place your fingers facing your knees. We're going to do the same action. We're going to bend our elbows, sink our chest down, and come up and go into cat back. You should really feel this in your wrist. Only go as far as you can without having any sensation of ouch. Sink and come back up, round your back, tuck your chin. And we'll do this one more time. Sink down, breathing the whole time. In and out. Exhale as you come up and round your back. Good. Now place your hands with your fingers facing forward and bend your elbows. You're going to feel this more intensely as we bend this way than when we come back for cat back. Rounding, come forward, bend your elbows, sink your chest, come back up and round your back, tuck your chin. Elbows, sink your chest, come around and come back up, round your back, sink your chin to chest. Good. Come back up, sit back in that seated position, look straight ahead, breathe in and out. If you lost that ujjayi breath, find it again. Breathing in and out through your nose. Great. If you're sitting on a block, remove it. If you're sitting cross-legged, come back up to a tabletop pose. So in tabletop, your knees are right underneath your hips and your shoulders are right on top of your wrists. One moment, please. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry about that. Come into tabletop. We're just, Cammy, go with daddy. Come. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry, one moment, please. Just go into tabletop. Go, girl. Come on, Cammy. Oh, brother. Okay, we're in tabletop. Pointer finger, your forefinger is straight ahead. Your shoulders are right on top of your wrists. Your knees are right underneath your hips. Cow, dip your chest and look up. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. It feels good. Inhale up into cow, really swiveling your hips. Exhale, cat. Place your hands a little bit more towards the top of your mat and tuck your toes. Bring your knees up off the mat, just 3 inches, and roll forward so that your shoulders are right on top of your wrists, okay? You're looking down at your mat. Breathe here. Feel the engagement in your abdominal muscles. Tuck your belly button towards your spine. Breathing here, in and out. Breathe in again. Feeling strong, roll now back to your first down dog of the day and start to pedal out your feet. Pedal one leg and then the other. You're coming on your right toes and you're sinking your left heel. You're coming on your left toe and you're sinking your right heel. So just notice how you feel. Is there any sensation in your wrist? Is there any significant sensation in your legs? Point your toes to the left side of your mat and bend your knees. You'll feel this, a big side body stretch on your left side, and breathe into it. Sometimes when we have big sensations, rather than backing away, try breathing into it and out. Come back high on your toes and bend your toes to the right and bend into it. Bend your knees a lot. You'll feel it now on your right. It's a good side body stretch. Come high on your toes and sink your heels on an exhale. Inhale, come high on your toes and sink your heels. Walk your hands back to your feet. Come up on the tips of your fingers. Now come up on your toes. They only have to be off the mat, a half an inch, but just be on your toes and your fingertips are on the mat. Try to straighten your back, and maybe you can do this by bringing your left hand to your shin and challenge yourself. See if you can bring your right hand to your chin and straighten your back while being on your toes. Bring your fingers back down to the mat and walk your hands out. Come back into downward facing dog. You can go really slow and breathe. Now check it out with down dog. When you bend your knees a lot, feel what happens to your sacrum. Your sacrum can sort of get itself more towards the ceiling, and that's a good position. A bent leg down dog, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, maybe as you go through the practice, you'll see that you can straighten your legs a bit more and still get your sacrum up to the ceiling. Your ears are wrapping right around your triceps. So breathe here and slowly walk your hands back to your feet. And come up on your tippy toes and come up on your fingertips and be here for a second. And challenge yourself. Can you place one hand on one shin and one hand on the other shin while still being on your tippy toes? It's challenging. Come down. And now lower your heels. Come up to that flat back with your full foot on the mat. So this flat back position, knees are a little bit bent. You're drawing the crown of your head straight forward. Your shoulders are down your back. You literally can feel that flat back. If you can look at yourself in your screen, see if your back is flat. Your knees can be bent. In fact, you don't want them locked. Your toes are pointing straight ahead, but you've got this flat back. Come up slowly, rise up, slow, slow, slow. Roll your shoulders down your back and bring your fingertips up to the ceiling for mountain pose. Very, very good. Bring your hands to heart. We're well into this practice, but let's do an Om anyway. Dig your thumb knuckles into your chest. Breathe in and out deeply. Another inhale. I don't know if you noticed, but Om, the Om sound has 3 tones. It's Om. There's 3 tones to Om, and I try to enunciate it. So it's not just Om, it's Om. Anyway, so let's look down. Let's get into the true north position. So we're looking down. Our toes are pointing straight ahead. Bring the arches of your feet up off the mat, and you'll feel engagement in your shins. Your hips are right over your knees, and your knees are right over your ankles. Draw all of your toes up off the mat and do with your toes what we were doing with our fingers. Widen them. See how wide your toes can get. This is yogi toe. So our toes are really wide. And see if you can lower one digit at a time, starting with your little pinky toe, lower down, and see if you can get each toe on the ground. There. Feel 4 corners of your feet. So your toe pad on your big toe, the toe pad on your baby toe, and both corners of your heel. So this is feeling all 4 corners. Bring some spring to your legs. Don't lock your legs. Feel engagement in your abdominal muscles. So it's that tucking of your deepest muscles in your belly, like you're zipping up your favorite pants. It's not a suck, it's a tuck. Your shoulders are on top of your hips. Your ears are in line with your shoulders. And we do that by drawing our chin back, and the crown of our head is up and our shoulders are down. True north. This is how we come into positions of balance. And it's the essential part of any standing pose. So I want you to practice. We're going to bring our right knee up and find a drishti point straight ahead. Feel the strength of balance. See if you can open your right hip, your right knee to the right, and extend your left arm long to the left. If you need to touch down, that's fine. Breathe in, and now slowly see if you can turn your drishti to that left thumb. Breathe and lower down. This is super challenging because it's not only balance where we find that strength position in this Tadasana, but we are turning our drishti. But it's a good thing to practice. So now bring your left knee up, and it can be right at hip height. Find that drishti point straight ahead, that unmoving object. Draw your right arm out to the right. You can stay here and just find strength here, or you can open your left knee to the left wall and slowly turn your gaze to the right and breathe. And lower down. Good. Excellent. Well done. So let's come into a warrior one position. With your right foot forward, right toes forward, left foot, the blade edge of your left foot is digging into the mat behind you. See, even before you add arms, see how deep you can go into this pose. Scoot your right toes forward and see if you can keep that knee right over your ankle by scooching forward. So you know you can do a warrior one where you're like this, right? I mean that, or you can do a warrior one where you're really extended. Clearly, the extension helps you really expand and feel the full benefit of the pose, because in doing so, we're stretching our ligaments and we're stretching the psoas muscle that often can become very tight, certainly if you've been sitting a lot. So here we are, the blade edge, my foot is at about a 45-degree angle. You can play with that. See how it feels when you go to a 90-degree angle. So my hips kind of turned more towards the side wall, but in warrior one, we want our hips more towards the front wall. So by turning your foot, your back foot to a 45-degree angle, or perhaps even more, you're going to be able to get your hips around. Stay bent over that front knee. Now place your hands on your hips and see where they are. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. So here we are, and our pelvis is neutral. So we're not popping our booty out and we're not Michael Jacksoning it either. We're just there. And now bring your hands up to cactus and bring your arms up overhead. So this is a full warrior one. If you're gripping the mat with your front toes, relax those toes and just breathe into this. On the inhale, you expand up. On the exhale, sink deeper. Inhale up, exhale, sink deeper. Do that again. Inhale, expand up, exhale, sink deeper. Now open to warrior two. So your arms are going out in a T. What happens? Maybe your back foot kind of goes to more of a 90-degree angle, still digging into the mat, but your hips rotate and now they're facing the wall to your left. As your arms come up in a T, you're stretching, you're reaching for opposite walls. And again, we're inhale, we expand, exhale, we sink deeper. Inhale, we expand, exhale, we sink deeper. Now reverse your warrior. Left hand goes down your left thigh and we look up at our right thumb. And our right hand is reaching up. Now side angle. Lightly place your right forearm on your right thigh and extend up with your left hand. Look up at your left thumb. And maybe you want to extend your side angle by drawing that arm closer to your left tricep, and now you're reaching the wall in front of you. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more breath in and come up through warrior two. Now we're coming into wide leg forward fold. So your toes are pigeon-toed on your mat. So here we are, hands on hip. Breathe in, sit up tall, and hinge forward at the waist, halfway down. Now place your hands on the mat right underneath your shoulders and start to draw the crown of your head towards the mat. Inhale, exhale, sink. Inhale, exhale, sink. Inhale and sink. Now bend your right knee and extend your left leg long. You can try to come on your toes and try to bring your hands into prayer. It's a balance. You can see or you can just go back and be flat foot and bring your hands into prayer. Place your hands back down and swing up. Your hips are now up. We're in that forward fold position. And do the same thing. Bend your left knee and extend your right leg long. Flex your toes up to the ceiling. I'm on my left toes as well. So you can keep your hands right here, right on the mat, or you can try to balance it. Woo. It's a challenge. And place your hands down on the mat. Again, sink your head down and slowly, with breath, roll up. Here we are. Take a moment, take a drink, recapture your breath if you've lost it. We're going to do that same little sequence on the other side. So extend your left leg long in front and bring your right leg behind. We're setting up for warrior one. So all the things that we talked about, look at your back leg, rotate it around as much as you need to try to get your hips facing the wall in front of you. Breathe in, make any adjustments, see how it feels. Maybe turn your foot a little bit more or less, the one that's behind you, your right foot, but you really want to make sure that you're bent over that left knee, that left knee is right on top of the ankle. Hands on hips. Notice if your pelvis is neutral. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. Give yourself that self-assist. Bring your hands up to cactus arms. Breathe here. See how it feels. Now draw your arms up, wrapping your triceps around your ears, coming into a full warrior one. Inhale, expand, exhale, sink. Inhale, expand, exhale, sink. Inhale, expand, exhale, sink. Now open up into warrior two. So you're reaching for opposite walls. Your arms are absolutely parallel with one another, forming a straight line, and sink. Like we did on the other side, maybe you made a slight adjustment to your position of your right foot. That's fine. Breathe in and sink. In and sink. In and sink. Reverse. Right hand goes down your right thigh. Left hand extends straight up to the ceiling and look up at your left thumb. Here we are. And now side angle. Lightly place your left forearm on your left thigh. So light, you're barely making contact. Extend your right hand up and look up at your right thumb. Breathe here. Breathe and sink. Now extend that side angle by drawing that tricep, that right tricep, right on top of your right ear. You're reaching forward. You can feel this in your psoas. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more breath in. Good. Now come up through warrior two, and now turn your toes so they're facing in the opposite direction, the opposite of pigeon toe. So this is goddess pose. And the deal with goddess pose is that we want our feet to be on a parallel line with one another. So your heels are parallel. And we want to bend into this, but we don't want to have our knees sink in. Draw your knees out so they're over your ankles. Do that self-assist. Place your hands on your knees and draw them out. Your pelvis is neutral. Your shoulders are straight up and down. Your back is straight. Crown of your head is reaching up. Breathe in and exhale, sink an inch. Breathe in. Exhale, sink an inch. Breathe in. Exhale, sink an inch. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale, sink 1 inch. And slowly come up. Slow, slow, slow until you're standing, and bring your feet together. Here we are. A wonderful standing pose. We're going to do one more balancy thing. And let's do tree. So tree, and let's see how long you can hold tree. If you fall out, just come back into it. No judgment, just say, okay, back in. So there's different ways of doing tree. There is kickstand. This actually is not balance, but it is a bit of a hip opening. And if this is where you are today, fine. If you want to try, you can put your foot on your shin. That's cool. If you can, bring your foot up into the inside of your thigh. Regardless of what you're doing, never put your foot on your knee. We don't want to be pressing our knee away because, in fact, regardless of where your foot is, you are going to press that foot into the thigh. So you're really, or shin, you're really making contact. Bring your hands to heart in prayer. Dig your thumb knuckles into the wall of your chest and look straight ahead. Find drishti. Find ease and strength. Two more breaths. And lower down. Good job. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So find your true north. Find that stance that really helps us to find balance. One side of your body will always feel different than the other. So take that with a grain of salt. Find your drishti point straight ahead and slowly make your way into whatever you did on the other side, do on this side. and lower down. So sometimes I fall out too, I mean, often. So let me show you a little trick. So if I'm like this in tree and I find myself starting to wobble, wobbles are actually good because you're really using your muscles to get rebalanced, right? So if you start to wobble, say that that's actually a good thing and you're trying to rebalance yourself. But let's say you fall out and you go down here. I just then put my foot on my shin because I don't need to get my arms down and bring my foot back up. I just go into this position if I fall out of tree and from a leg on thigh position. But it's just a moment, commercial on wobbling. It's not that bad. Let's make our way down to the floor and sit on your mat and just go slowly, make your way slowly. There's no need to kind of rush down there. And we're going to just do a little bit of ab work. So your legs are straight out from your hips. Breathe here. Actually, bring your arms up overhead and look at your thumbs. And we're going to do a forward fold. So let's start here. And you can bend your knees and you can slowly, we want our lower back to come forward. It's not a rounding as much as it is a movement forward with our back. You can grab the soles of your feet and breathe into it. And on the exhale, see if you can sink down, drawing that lower back forward. Breathe in and sink down. Try to bring your shoulders so they're down your back. Breathe in and sink down. Another breath in and sink. And while we're folding, now bring your left sole of foot to the inside of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. So your left leg is long, your right leg is bent, the sole of your right foot is on the inside of your thigh. Stretch your arms up, look up at your thumbs, and turn your torso a little bit so it's facing that left leg before now you fold here. And again, we're still drawing our lower back forward. Our shoulders are down our back. Breathe into it. So on the breath in, you expand. On the exhale, you sink deeper. Do 3 rounds of breath here. And sink. And sink. Good. Slowly make your way back up to a seated position and reverse. Switching, your right leg is long, your left knee is bent, the left sole of your foot is on the inside of your right thigh. Bring your arms up, look at your thumbs, turn your torso so it's facing that right leg, and slowly lower down, working your fingertips. Perhaps you can grab the sole of your foot, maybe not. You can bend your knee a little bit more if that makes it more accessible, and roll your shoulders down your back and draw your lower back forward as you breathe in and sink. Inhale, expand, exhale, sink. Inhale, expand, exhale, sink. These are, come back up to seated. These are really good poses for, really expanding and stretching our ligaments. Stretch both legs out long. Now we're going to do, before we do our ab work, we're going to do Lord of the Fish. So I want you to have your left leg long, bring your right foot so that it is placed on the mat and it's outside of your left knee. Your right knee's bent. Now bring your right elbow and place it on the inside of that right knee. Extend your fingers on your right hand up towards the ceiling. Place your left hand behind you. Fingers can be facing your body or away from your body, whatever feels good. This helps you sit up tall. So we're sitting up as tall as we can. Our abs are engaged, and you're going to slowly turn your gaze over that right shoulder. So on the inhale, expand. Exhale, turn. Inhale, expand. Exhale, turn. Inhale, expand. Exhale, turn. And come around. Maybe do a little counter turn in the other direction. And we're going to switch. So right leg is long, left leg is bent, left foot, sole of foot is on the mat outside your right knee. And now our right elbow is on the outside of our left knee. Oh, sorry. Wait, did I do this wrong? I think I'm doing this wrong. Sorry. God, did I do this absolutely wrong? Anyway, I want to go in the opposite direction. So my left leg is long, my right foot, I'm sorry, my left elbow is on the outside of my right knee. Wow, how confusing. And my right hand is behind me. I'm sitting up tall. My left fingers are now facing the ceiling. I breathe in and I start to twist around, starting to turn my gaze over my right shoulder. Turn your gaze, look over your right shoulder. Turn your gaze, look over your right shoulder. You're sitting up tall and you're turning your gaze. One more breath in. Good. And come back around and maybe a little counter stretch in the opposite direction. Great. Sorry about that confusion. Now come to a seated position and make your way into your high boat, whatever your high boat is. So you can have your forearms on the mat and bring your legs up to a bent position like that. That's great. Just make sure you're on your sacrum. So you know that because you can rock. So if you're way on your back, that's not right. If you're way forward, that's not exactly right either. We want engagement in our abs. That's the point. So this doesn't necessarily make it easier being like this. Just go up like that. You'll see it's not like, oh yeah, that's super easy, but do whatever is comfortable. Your legs can be straight. You can have your arms out. You can have your arms behind your knees or thighs, whatever works. And just go into low boat. Look at your toes. Bring your head, hover over the mat and come up to high boat. We'll do this 4 times. Low boat. High boat. Low boat. One more time. High boat and low boat. And lower down completely. So we're on our back, flat back. Enjoy this flat back. Feel your arms are on the mat. Your full leg is on the mat. Maybe there's a little arch in your back. See if you can lower your full back to be on the mat. See what that takes. It may be really moving your pelvis up in the Michael Jackson way and then relaxing it. Try that again. See what it takes to lower your full back onto the mat. Maybe my knees are sort of popping up. And then relax. Good. We're going to do bridge pose. So I want to offer supported bridge. Maybe we'll all do supported bridge. So grab your block and we're going to place your block right underneath your sacrum. And it can be, maybe start on the middle setting. Bring your heels so that you can graze your heels with your fingertips, right? So this is supported bridge. Your arms are completely flat. The full arm is on the mat. Your full foot is on the mat and your toes are pointing straight ahead. Your heels are far enough back that you can touch them with your fingertips. So here we are. We're feeling our hands are flat on the mat. We're flat out. Breathe in and out. And draw your thighs together, not touching. Just feel your thighs as they are trying to come together. This is the proper alignment for bridge. Your head's on the mat, your full arms on the mat, your thighs are drawing towards one another, your toes are straight ahead. Now, see if you can lift up off of your block, maybe just an inch or two. See what happens. Are you clenching your butt? If you are, try to unclench it by putting more weight into your arms and feet. Breathe here and lower back down to the block. Good. Breathe in and out. Let's do that again. Come up off your block, just an inch or two. Unclench your butt, draw your thighs together. Really try to come up onto your tops of your shoulders. Breathe in and out. And lower down. So now your sacrum's back on your block. Breathing again, deep breaths. In and out. We'll do that one more time. On an inhale, lift off the block. Another breath. Draw your thighs together. And lower down. Good deal. Now, this is going to be fun. You just have to turn your block so that it's on the lowest position, or it can be, you can keep it there, but on your low position, we're going to come into waterfall. So now we're here, and now our legs just pop up. Our ankles are over our knees, and our knees are over our hips. And we'll stay here for a few moments. And slowly lower down and remove the block. Bring yourself into Supta Baddha Konasana. So one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Your soles of your feet are together. Your legs are in butterfly. And breathe here. Extend your left leg long in front of you and bring your right knee into your chest and hold it there for a moment. Breathe. Maybe open it up to the right. So now I'm holding my right knee and I'm opening that hip out to the right. And now I want you to bring that knee over, and we're coming into supine twist. So I'm drawing my right knee over my body. It's now coming to the left side. It doesn't quite hit the floor, but I'm stacking my hips, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to extend your right arm long out to the right and slowly turn your gaze over to your right thumb. My right hand is on my left hand is on the right knee, and I'm trying to draw it to the floor. But the most important thing is that my hips are stacked. And slowly roll out of this, maybe bringing that knee into your chest again before you straighten it and bring your left knee into your chest and open it out to the left for a hip opener. I'm holding on to my left knee with my left hand. Now I'm bringing it to the center, that left knee. I'm grabbing it with my right hand and I'm drawing it over to the right, extending my left arm long straight out to the side. I turn my gaze to look at that thumb as I stack my hips, holding my left knee, seeing if I can get it to the floor. In my case, I can't quite, but my hips are stacked and that's good. We're breathing into this twist. And slowly roll out of this, maybe bringing that knee into your chest. In fact, do that and bring your right knee in too. And hug your knees, grab your knees and scrunch up into a little ball. Scrunch everything, scrunch and stretch out into Shavasana. Flop your ankles open and bring your palms back up to face the ceiling and resume your normal breath. We'll stay here for a minute or two. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes and roll onto your side, cradling your head in your arm, and pause here for a few rounds of breath. And slowly come up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer and draw the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Breathe in and out. We'll end practice with the way we began, with the sound of one Om. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead and look up. The light in me honors the light in you. Together we bow and say namaste. Namaste.